Welcome everybody to my next update on my action RPG gate. So in this update I have a lot to show regarding the UI. So I made a complete overhaul of the UI regarding the colors and the palette. I made custom themes for all of the controls that I use, etc. So I show a little bit about this in my previous video with the settings menu and the filters. Here is where you can customize your loot filters and your item drops to look different. You can customize the colors and so on. I just finished it. I added more sound effects, and now the filters are working properly. So let's get into the game and let me show you every single menu and UI that I reworked and some others that I actually added a lot of new features to. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's go real quick over all the menus. Now here on your left you have the character sheet, which is where you find all the information about your character. Nothing changed in this window. You can see that everything is in the same place. The only thing, of course, is the theme. All of these submenus are basically the same. The enhancement system, the advanced stats, as well as the skill brands, which are basically the skills. Everything here is the same. So let's move on to the inventory. Now in the inventory, I added a couple of new features. The first thing, of course, is these the currencies you can see here with a small tooltip showing what they are. Also, the mana bar and the life bar, you can see they are smaller, and they also follow the palette for the new palette that I'm using. Now let's go over the item hovers. Now you can see that now the hover shows the picture of the item as well as the rarity and other relevant information like the attack speed or the cast speed of the weapons. You can see that the implicits are separate from the affixes. So the implicits is that top modifier there, which are present in every item of that type. But I added a new, even cooler feature, which is item details. So you can hold Alt, and it's gonna show you the ranges of every modifier on an item, as well as the tier. So the higher the tier, of course, the better the modifier. You can see here that it's showing all the tiers on all of these items. So now you're not necessarily need to go to the forge to see the tier. You can see it here in any item, and the ranges, of course. This works in every item, even on singular items with more custom modifiers, which I'm gonna show you next. So now let's get into the stash. Now the stash is one of those systems that I added a lot of features to, quality of life features. So let's get into that. So here's the stash. You can see that I added a drop-down menu here on the right, showing all the tabs. You can see that now I added color support and also support for icons, custom icons. You can actually click on any of these tabs to take you quickly to the tab. You don't have to browse here using your mouse wheel or these arrows here. You can just click here. Now, the cool part about this system is the priority system. So this is a system similar to the affinities in Path of Exile or priority in Last Epoch, which I've been playing a lot. Now in Last Epoch they have a system which allows you to control click like this. You can see that the items didn't deposit here. That's because they were deposited automatically in the tab that I set up for them. So for example, here you can customize. So you can customize any tab like this. You can change the name. You can set up a custom icon. You can change the color. And you can set up the priority system that I mentioned here. So here you can say which item types you want here to be auto moved and which rarities. Now I only have these two conditions now, but I can add more in the future, right? No, so once you set up priorities in these tabs, any item that meets the requirements are gonna be automatically moved there when you use control click. So I set up here a couple of tabs with that activated to showcase the feature. So here only blue weapons. Let's pick a couple of them. Here I set up for only yellow weapons. Here singular items, which are the legendary ones, generic ones. And here only singular weapons. So this is more specific. So this is for singulars, and this is for weapons that are singular. as well as consumables, for example. So let's pick a couple of these, right? So let's say you come from a dungeon and you just want to deposit your loot. If you set up your tabs correctly, you're gonna be able to control click everything. You can see they're getting moved to the corresponding tabs here. You can see they got put in here in the weapons tab and the consumables. So that's the tab priorities. That's the function that they have. Also the search item, I made it a little more robust, so you can actually search for more specific modifiers. Like if you are looking for fire, this is gonna highlight all the items in all the tabs that have fire on anything, on the modifiers. Also you can do it by type, you can do it by item level, you can do it by modifier names, and many other things. It's not finished, but I think it's pretty robust already. So this is the stash tab. And the stash system, let me know what you think about this. I think it's pretty nice to be able to organize your loot like that. Now let's get it real quick into the rest of the UI. Now the rest of the UI, I didn't add any new features, so it's gonna be a lot quicker. So this is the forge. The only thing that I changed about the forge, besides the theme of course, is that I made it more, I tried to balance it a little better, so you can see that the chance of success is a lot lower in the majority of items. When upgrading a modifier to a higher tier, the chances of success are gonna be determined by the modifier. So if it's a more rare modifier, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to upgrade. You're gonna lose potentially more force power, which is the resource here used in the forge to be able to craft more stuff. But again, the forge is not meant to be the beyond and all of crafting. This is more of a refinement station. So you can use it as the last step on your crafting projects. Because of the force power, which is that anvil icon there, you only have so many chances, so you want to use them well. For crafting normally, you are probably going to use runes, which are the consumables. But yeah, but that's the forge. Let's get into the mystic. You can see here, this is the NPC dialogue default window here. Nothing changed here. You can buy your skills here. You can disenchant your gear, just like before. It's gonna give you some essence, so you can break down gear that you don't want here. You can also buy consumables with this essence. So these are the crafting runes that you can craft items with. Okay, so this is the mystic. Now the blacksmith, you can buy random equipment here or re-roll it. Now this equipment is generally cheaper than gambling, but of course it's random. It also allows you to see the modifiers before buying it, so you know what you're getting. Right? So it's usually nice to come here and see if it has the base that you want, that you're looking for, and so on. The next thing is gamble equipment, so nothing different here either. Of course, the only difference is that you can select the base type that you want. So if you want the ring or an amulet, it's gonna re-roll a random one that is gonna be at least blue. You can also get singular items here. This is the advantage. You can actually target farm or target a specific type of singular items here. So that's the gamble. Now the next one is this guy. This is the Lost Adventurer. So this is an encounter that you find in the dungeon randomly. So this guy, every time you encounter him, he's gonna offer you 3 items in exchange for a specific item that he's asking for. So in this case, he's asking for an unusual flail at a specific level. Once you meet these requirements, it's gonna allow you to pick one of these. Right? The stuff that he has usually is exceptional and higher, so it cannot be like common and stuff like that. So you can see the UI changes here. The next thing is the gate. So you can see the gateway here, basically the same. I didn't change anything here besides the thing. Also the passive tree. Nothing changed here besides this little menu up here. Okay, so another thing that I almost forgot to mention is the items on the floor using the new item filters. So you can see that I have a lot of items here on the floor, but a lot of them don't have the labels. That's because I'm hiding them through the item filter. So everything that is common is not showing. You can see that the sizes of the labels as well are custom. Some of them are higher than others or bigger than others. You can also see that the legendary or singular items, they have rays, colored rays. All of that is customizable, as well as the sound effects. So if you drop a singular item, it's gonna make a sound, the sound that you set up on your filter. Now you can still see all the items that you want, even if they are not on your filter. You hold Alt, you can see that they are showing there, so you can pick them up even if you don't have them set up on your filter. You can still see everything. But those who are in the filter, you can see are showing on the label, so you can only pick the stuff that you want, like the rooms and stuff. And like I said, on the filters here, you can change the sound effect, and you can also change the ray color. So let's, for example, make it blue on this rule here. You can see that immediately it changes the ray colors to blue, and if you drop it, the sound effect is also changed. So that's the item filters. You can see that they're working and it's pretty nice. So now let's continue with the rest of the stuff that I wanted to show. And I believe the last thing is this, which is the skill hovers. So the skill menu here, you can see that I only changed the theme for all of these hovers, but I think it's a lot more readable. Lastly, before I finish, because I believe that's everything regarding the menus and the UI, I'm gonna show you these 3 skills that I just made yesterday. So this rune is basically just a rune that applies a debuff there that increases the fire damage taken. Now the reason I made this rune is to combine it with this other one. This like a firebolt, right? So this is using the combo system that I'm already using in some monsters, which allows you to trigger or proc other skills when another skill hits it, for example like this. Right, you put the rune, you can see that it explodes and it also inflicts a burn. So this is like a combo skill that allows you to trigger different skills using another one. So this allows me to make some some more different combinations of skills that allow you to make combos like that, which I think is pretty nice. And the last thing is this totem, which is basically like a minion. Now I don't think I have finished any of these because of the sound effects and all that. You can see the totems are basically like minions, but they are you cannot move, of course. They have a lot less health, but that's the idea, right? You can see all the hover information there. And the reason I added these 3 skills is because I started content phase yesterday. So basically I'm gonna be all over adding skills, monsters, items, tile sets, encounters, and so on. So if you have any ideas for any of this stuff for an action RPG, you are free to join my Discord and just share your ideas there. I'm happy to implement them if there's some fun, like items and stuff. What else? Yeah, so I'm not gonna be able to stream in like 2 weeks. I said this on my Discord, and also on my Twitch, because I'm going through some problems with the setup and stuff. I'm still gonna make videos. I'm gonna upload some pictures and stuff to my Discord of my progress still. But yeah, I'm gonna start streaming from 2 weeks now, approximately. So yeah, let me know what you think about all these UI changes, and if you have some ideas for content, like I said, you're free to join my Discord. Take care and see you on the next video in 2 weeks.